All right. Let's give it a minute to kick in. Whew. How's everybody doing? All right, give it a couple minutes for people to join us. Sorry I'm late. Sorry for the delay. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Oh my goodness. My hair grows so dang fast. Good morning. Manny, how you doing? Have a slice, how you doing? Good morning. Just give it a couple of minutes for everybody to join. I made a mistake when I posted it. I said I'll be live at 11. And I was talking to a friend of mine. He goes, "Aren't you supposed to be live?" I go, "Not till 11:30." He goes, "No, look at your post." I went, "Oh crap." Oops. Just wait for a couple more people to join. I appreciate you joining. Pete, how you doing? Silver, yeah. Look, we will talk about that too. There's a few things we're talking about. A lot of changes that are getting ready to happen. So I appreciate you guys taking the time to come on in. Florida, huh? You know, I was over at Florida at a meet and greet. And I tell you what, it is a gorgeous place. I understand the allure of that place, but I would feel really nervous about jumping in a swimming hole and wondering whether or not a big damn alligator or crocodile are going to eat me. Where the place we had a Airbnb that was right on the water, and had my feet hanging off the dock, just splashing around in the water. And for some reason, something told me to look up and look down. I looked up and I looked down into the water, and I seen these. I'm not even kidding. It was like these 3 different sized boulders moving in the water, And I thought, what the hell is this? How are these rocks floating? And after I looked at them real closely, I realized they were, we call them sea cows or manatees. But for a second there, I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen, because these rocks look big. And I was like, how are they floating around in the water? It's the way they swim that gives the appearance of, yeah, they look like three huge ass rocks floating in the water. We will get more into the dinar and the yen. Okay, that's an interesting one. Nobody's ever asked me about that one. New York, how's it going over there? You guys settling in with your new communist mayor? It's interesting. Cold, yeah. I talked to my friend. I gave him crap all the time about who the hell they voted in office, and he was just saying that. He goes, "Dude, right now it's too cold for anybody to give a crap." it's never that damn cold, but maybe he feels that way if you're there. Venezuela, very interesting. And there are so many things to be talking about. So many things. Give me about another minute. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Long Island, everybody from the East Coast, how y'all doing? Jojo. Oh, it's cold in Florida? I never thought that was possible. Like people saying, I talked to my sisters from time to time when they were here in California, but they would say it's raining. I go, no, it never rains in Southern California. But not only this year did it rain, but it flooded like nobody's business. It was crazy. Good to see everybody as well. Vietnam, we're going to be able to talk about all these things here in just a moment, because I haven't went live in a while. My apologies. There's a lot of growth taking place, a lot of personal growth as well. 44 in the morning. Geez, I'm talking about for Free America. Yeah, we're trying. That's for sure. I watched to say there's a lot of people making the effort to do it, and there's a lot of pushback from the globalists, big time. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, right? Just so we can get this rocking and rolling, because you guys don't want to hear me bitch about these. Anyways, I've said this a million times and a million and one times, and that is my intentions are to move out of California. They have been for like 2 or 3 years out of California, it looks like that's still going to take place. So I'm just struggling about where it is I want to go. Texas to me seems like a perfect place. Everything about it is appealing to me. Oklahoma is appealing to me. Colorado is appealing to me. Montana looks beautiful. It's. I have to figure out, or I should say, I have to do a lot more praying. To be honest with you, a lot more praying about where God definitely wants to put me, because I've often been led by God, but I wouldn't say all the time because I'm not exactly the peaches and cream, if you know what I mean. But anyways, about what's going on in this channel. Some of you might know, some of you might not be aware of this. I used to have another channel. It's called Pimpys Investment Chat, and unfortunately, it was taken down. The good news is this. Give me a second. Let me share this with you. So last night I was informed that the channel was back up, and it was shocking to me. And I did not believe that it was up. Anyways, I posted a video on there, and sure enough, it is up and running. There are a ton of people who were on this channel that didn't even know how to find me. So this is part of this announcement. So let me go ahead and get out of here. I'm excited about this. Okay, so I'm really excited about the fact that I got my channel back. You guys have no idea what kind of fight it was. We're going back and forth, but it wasn't just me. Apparently, there's a lot of other people who had their channels taken away, that they are having their channels restored for them. So I'm excited about that. Very excited. So here's what the announcement is. For those of you who used to follow me before, the reason why the channel got taken away is because I was speaking out politically. And there was a lot of people who got their channels removed for speaking their mind. So it's been restored. So I will be posting videos on gold, silver, the Iraqi dinar, Vietnam dong, Zim, everything else like that on Pimpys Investment Chat. I need to separate my content because I don't want the business to be mixed up, okay? I will then move anything not related to those subjects or investments over here, okay? You're welcome to both channels. Some of you are interested, some of you are not, but you are welcome to both channels to hear the content. Just so you're aware, I'll have them both going, okay? So the Pimpys Investment Chat information will be on Pimpys Investment Chat, okay? There's 77,000 subscribers on there. I was curious to see how many of them were not able to find me later on. As I posted a video on there, you can see in the comments, there was a ton of people who were not even aware on how to reach me. So they're really happy that I'm back, and I'm looking forward to it, okay? What do you guys talk about? Absolutely, God will lead. Yes, God will lead. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. Okay. So California to southern New Mexico. I actually lived in Dulce, New Mexico for a little while, right on the reservation, the Hickory Apaches. I was married to an Apache woman. I actually enjoyed the scenery, and the people were very nice, except for when it came to jobs. My educational level is extremely high, and I applied for a job, and when I would get a job, a tribal member easily came in and just took it from me. They would actually demand a job. I'm not even kidding. And they could discriminate because they're under their own constitution. And that's what I found really mind-blowing. I said, well, I have the job. And they go, well, a tribal member wants it. So how does an individual make a living there if you're not a tribal member? It was unfortunate, but after a while, I just couldn't stay there anymore, and we moved back to California. But it's a very beautiful place. So my opinion on the ISX, I will talk about that. Okay, so here's what's going to be going on, just so you understand. On Pimpys Investment Chat, when it comes to investments, I took a lot of enjoyment out of being a lot more detailed than other content creators. That doesn't mean it falls on favorable ears, okay? Because people don't always like what I have to say just because it's the stone cold truth. And Pimpy says so. Just kidding, can't help it. So, if you're sensitive, your ears are sensitive, and you don't like somebody being blatantly honest with you, it might not be for you. So I am going to be talking over there and being a lot more informative. It isn't just I blow hopium up your ass, because that's not going to happen on this channel. This is the non-hopium channel. Okay. I'm going to be doing what I can to educate you. Now, as far as the other channel is concerned, the enjoyment was being able to go back to some of my older videos and just look at them. But it's listening to just how much growth has taken place over the last 3 years. Because one of the video, just so you're aware, the last video I posted on there was 3 years ago. 3 years ago. But just how much has changed since then. And people go, oh, you've changed. You went from pumping people with hopium and blah, blah, blah. When it comes to any of these subjects, I go, no, I never did that. What you're looking at is just personal growth. The more I became knowledgeable about what I was speaking about, then obviously my opinions would change, or the way I speak about a subject would change. Okay. Am I going to need a 9 to 5 after the RV? Well, if all goes well, God willing, none of us will need a 9 to 5. I'm just saying. We not only do we got to hope that it happens, but you got to hope it happens a certain way. Again, we'll get into that. So I will be, just so you aware, the announcement is I'm going to be doing the content for the Iraqi dinar, Vietnam dong, Zim, gold, silver, anything that has to do with investments and making money back on the other channel. I will leave the link down below, and I will post the same video on the other channel for those who are not even. I will post the same video, by the way, on the other channel too, so they are aware of what's going on as well. Extremely happy, extremely grateful. But the truth of the matter is, it was 77,000 subscribers on there. I don't know how many my content is going to reach. It has been 3 years. I was pleasantly surprised to see a lot of comments of people who were not even aware of where I was, but found me. We're happy to see me post a video, okay? So that means I'll be able to reach people again that I was not able to reach in the past 3 years. So I'm extremely happy about that. So like I said, because people are asking me a lot of great questions. For those of you who've been listening to me speak about gold and silver for quite some time, I had this great conversation with a person. He says, you're happy about those people who became millionaires. And, it's exciting for us as well. He says, but there's so many different levels of wealth that you created through silver. Are you even aware of it? And I said, I got an idea. He goes, you got people that might have, sure, you got a couple people that became millionaires in the past 3 years. It's so crazy to think about this. But millionaire over the past 3 years. But some of us have 600,000 worth of silver. Some of us have 300,000 worth of silver. He goes, think about this, Pimpy. He goes, just round numbers we're going to use. Got it. If you have 80 ounces of silver right now, 80 ounces, and it gets up to, well, you don't need it to hit $100 an ounce. But you know what I mean? If you have 100 ounces of, let's put it this way. If you have 100 ounces of silver, okay, and you multiply that times 100, that's not pocket change. That's pretty good. But if you even reach the level of owning 1,000 ounces of silver, and it's at $89 right now, you have $89,000 worth of silver. That's almost $100,000. And so when I was speaking about people over 10,000 ounces of silver that are reaching the millionaire status, yeah, that is a lot of silver. But 1,000 ounces is not a lot of silver. Think about that. Where is silver, by the way? Let me check super quick here. Give me just a second. I'm going to tell you where the price is. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to show you. $94.53. Now, it has been going up and down a lot, but don't be shocked by that. If you're watching the prices of any of your investments every day, you're going to go insane and you're going to pull your hair out. Trust me when I tell you that. It's crazy. So silver right now is at $94 an ounce. So we're going to use my example. If you even got as much as 1,000 ounces of silver way back when I first started speaking about it, you're sitting at almost $100,000 worth of silver. For some people, that's life-changing. For other people, that's really going to be an extremely great example of supplementing your retirement. You see what I'm saying? Some of you are going to get Social Security, and it's not going to be enough to help you survive. But if you have your Social Security and all these ounces, don't go sell all the ounces, which you usually take out, maybe 1 or 2 ounces per month and sell it to supplement your income. Okay. Some of you can afford to take out a little bit more and sell, and you can have more than a comfortable life. All right. Or if you have enough money and you can do generational wealth transfer, then if you don't need the money, then you pass it on to your kids. You know what I mean? So something to think about. So if you had even 1,000 ounces, so yes, I understand. When I was speaking about, let me go into this one. So yes, I understand this. When I was talking about the people who became a millionaire, yes, they have well over 10,000 ounces of silver. Okay, some people are like, well, that's really hard to get. But another person said, no, wait. He says, you should simplify that. Some people have been able to collect just 1,000 ounces, and that's still a lot of money. If you have 1,000, think about this. If you have 1,000 ounces of silver right now, that's $94,000. The crazy thing is, going back to my older videos, watching me bug the crap out of people, telling them, listen, this is going to happen. You're going to see these changes take place when silver was $11 an ounce. Somebody said, Pimpy, you look like you lost a little weight. Just so you guys know, I drastically slowed down my drinking. It hasn't stopped 100%, but it's a drastic change for me. And so the crazy thing is, I've been able to do it easily. Of course, I have a lot of divine help. And decisions like that, when I know it's going to be a little hard to do, I prayed hard for help in that situation. So as usual, God comes through. So I didn't ask for quitting, but I said I need to make a life change, and so it just keeps, my craving for alcohol just keeps fading and fading, and it's just weird to think about not having alcohol in my life. It's just, anyways, sorry, because somebody said, "Hey, what alcohol are you drinking?" Usually I am, but yeah. So let's see here. So watch a pawn video. Gold sold at what did you say? A guy sold a 20-pound bar of silver for $12,000. Oh my God! Could you imagine that? You guys can imagine. You have a bar of silver that weighs a pound. That's a little fatty, little fatty like this. I don't know if you guys ever seen Pawn Stars. Where that guy pulls in his tricky, pulls it in, all full of silver. I mean, he's got these kilo bars. He's got all these coins. He's got junk metal. And I think at the time he was able to sell for what, a couple $100,000. But if he still had that silver today, he'd be a millionaire, well over. You guys, the people that I spoke about that are millionaires from listening to the video, it did not take them long. So remember, Lisa, the lady that got the part-time job, you got to remember her. She 3 years ago was cursing me out, saying, "Gosh dang, Pimpy, this is how the rich stay rich and the poor get poor." We talk about that all the time. But she took a part-time job on, and all that money she made from her part-time job, she invested into the metals. Still does it, okay? Still. But look how quickly, now, I'm not saying this is going to happen to everybody, but I will tell you this. Look how quickly she went from, I'm struggling every day, making a 9 to 5 and barely have enough to pay my bills, to now she's sitting on over $1 million worth of silver. No, it's exciting for me. But so many times I have people comment down below, why are you still talking about it? Why are you still talking about silver and stuff if you don't have that? That's the whole point of the channel, was for me to share my opinion on certain investments. And what you guys do with it is up to you. What is sweet? What did you say? I'm sitting on. Oh, this I got to see real quick. Give me just a second. Are you serious, sweet? Are you saying that you have 421,000 ounces of silver, and your cost average is $28? Wow. Oh, very smart. So Sweet was taking the profits from the stock this individual invested in, taking the profits out and investing it into precious metals, and is now sitting on 421,000 ounces of silver, unless it's a typo. 421. There's a lot of countries right now that'd be willing to talk to you. I just watched this guy speak about this. People are so focused on gold that some other countries are getting hip to the fact that silver is still really cheap. I know a lot of you are like, Pimpy, what are you talking about, man? It's $94 an ounce. Trust me, back when I was talking about silver, when it was $20 an ounce, people were like, I can't afford it. It's only $20 an ounce. They find a way. You always will find a way. You see, I stopped drinking completely 6 months ago. Yeah, see, okay. I bought my apologies, because where the comments are going are way over there, and even with my glasses on, man, it has everything to do with what the hell drinking has to, what drinking brings for you. But anyways, your sugar levels and stuff, and the fact that I literally put on like 100 pounds, for those of you who know me way back in my skinny days, and it wasn't that long ago, I put on like 100 pounds from drinking alcohol. And for those of you who are not familiar, the drinks I really love to drink are those little fat sippy drinks, or buzz balls. And I would kill like 10 or 15 of them a day just drinking them. There's so much sugar in them. People have somewhat lost faith in the IQD, too many stories. Yeah, a lot of people have. We're going to talk about that. I want to do that one in detail. Okay. Even back in it, when I spoke about it a lot, you guys, just so you understand, just when I spoke about it a lot, I told people, look, don't spend more than your discretionary funds, because I literally know people I've spoken to that took a second mortgage out on their house, and I did not want that kind of thing to happen. Okay? I did not. I said, don't do that. If you have discretionary funds and that's the investment you choose, then go ahead. Okay? Go to investment. If you invest in it, like I did, is I set a goal. I said, I'm only going to get X amount of dinar, X amount of Vietnam dong, X amount of this or that. Okay. So when I reached my goal, because I only wanted 5 million dinar and 5 million dong. So once I got those, I wrapped them up and threw them in the closet. They just sit there for now. Okay. If it happens, great, because this is a long shot we're talking about. Whenever you're talking about investments like that, these are long shots. They're speculative. There's no guarantee about them. And, people could, I know there's content creators out there blowing hope into people's ass. I don't want you to give up faith in it. Okay. But having said that, when I do my videos, a lot of people have noticed that I should say it this way. A lot of people feel like the way I speak about the Iraqi dinar has changed. I went from being hopeful to now somehow I'm negative. It's not negative. I'm being a lot more informative. Over the past 3 years, there has been a lot of growth in knowledge for me, anyways, when it comes to Iraqi dinar. Because when people go, always take a deep dive. No, you don't. I took a deep dive, okay? A real deep dive. And I've approached the Iraqi dinar in a million different ways. And then it started dawning on me that it might not happen the way people think. And just because I say that doesn't mean I'm negative about it. I'm telling you guys, slow down, pump your brakes. Let me keep you grounded. This is a channel that stays grounded. Okay? And I know there's people out there going, Pimpy, don't know what he's talking about. But you never hear them freaking people not once. I offered to debate any of them, and they never come to debate me. You ever wonder about that? You ever say, well, hold on. If you think you know more than Pimpy does, or you think Pimpy's wrong, how can we never debate him? They will never debate me, because they get their ass kicked. That's why. I wasn't lying when I said when it comes to the Iraqi Dinar community, there's nobody out there more knowledgeable than I am. Not a single person. It's not about bragging. It's about being truthful. Now, the thing about silver is this. Okay? Wait, I'm going to do a video a little bit more with a lot more details for you guys. I want to encourage you, again, despite what the price is per ounce, to still continue to stack silver. Over in Shanghai, because you got to watch the two markets, silver is, somebody said, was above $130 right now per ounce. So we watch these markets, not just ours, but other ones, because each one affects what's going on. 114.91 is per ounce. That's so that's more closer to the real price. No, the real price is what you're talking about is the market value. Paper value is what we see. That's not a real value. I always encourage people, if you can, find a way to physically own the silver. Okay, if I told you when you guys, I don't know if you guys heard the video. I should say, a few months ago, I was talking to Monica, and she's got the 3 kids. Okay, and I told her one time, I have you guys on my videos, but she was scared, and a good reason. She says she didn't want to do that because she's afraid to get recognized, and she has kids, and now that people are aware of how much she has in precious metals, she didn't want to be identified. And I totally get that. I should have thought about it before I even, made the suggestions. But she spoke to me about Pimpy. There's so much. She just had it in the closet. I don't think I can get in trouble for saying that. She just had it in the closet. There were monster box, and crap. They stacked it up, and I go, no, don't do that. So me and her spoke about what she should do, and she got it safe. And it's very protected now. It's still in her possession, but it's very protected. Okay. We will go over different ways to hide it, protect it. People have been asking me about taxes, and I'm going to go over that in detail. People have been asking me about ways to hide it. We're going to go over that in detail. There are people transferring out of their IRA accounts, and they're worried about a penalty. There's a way to transfer out of your IRA account and you won't have a penalty. Okay. Buying silver in Mexico cheaper, it's possible. The crazy thing about, as a coin collector, myself, as a person who buys not just precious metals, but I'm a coin collector, and because of my knowledge in coin collecting, as well as precious metals, that's how I even knew anything about precious metals. But because of that, I'm able to give you guys a personal insight on it and make suggestions. But one of the things I personally like to invest in, I started looking like Gavin Newsom all of a sudden. Anyways, one of the personal choices of mine is buying the silver Libertads. These are it's like our version of the silver Eagles. Okay. Now, what makes Mexico's coins, excuse me, what makes investing in the gold or the silver coins of Mexico is this, and the gold coins, by the way, is when they don't have a specific amount of money, or don't have a specific amount of silver that's mandated. In here in the United States, it tells us in our Constitution, literally, you're supposed to have enough precious metals to meet the demand of the citizens wanting to buy it. Over there, it doesn't work that way. They make their coins based on what people donate, despite having one of the largest silver mines out there. Okay. So the crazy thing is, you can buy the sets of these silver coins, the 1/10, 1/4 ounce, you know what I mean? Like all of them in a set, up to 10-ounce coins, big ones. Why that's exciting is this. We don't know the mintages that go out. Like, how many will they create? We have no idea. They usually don't reveal that till like a couple years later. And when they do, oh, good Lord. Good Lord. Sometimes you're lucky and you get a set where there's only a couple 100,000 of them made. People are going, a couple 100,000. Well, we make our coins in the billions here, just so you understand. let me see if I can find it for you super quick because this wasn't that long ago. The 10 ounce, I believe it's a 10 ounce coin, 10 ounce silver Libertad. That coin, yeah, there it is, spell right, if I can get it out there. So that coin, when they announced the mintages, because it only made like, I think it was such a small mintage of them, the coin instantly went from a couple $100,000 or a couple $100 to buy it. I'll find it later and put it in the video. Anyways, it went from you can buy it for like at the time like a few $100s for this 10 ounce coin of silver from them. Then all of a sudden, when they announced that there's only like 20 or 50 of these coins made, oh my gosh, people are getting like $20,000 for the coin. So every year, I made it a habit. I buy this whole set. I'm a coin collector, anyways, and it's good to have. And the one year that, the one damn year that I did not get the 10 ounce coin, yeah, it happened to be that year. My thoughts on XRP. People know how I feel about cryptocurrencies. And this is what I will say about that. If you are comfortable with an investment yourself, I don't want to discourage or encourage anybody to either get into or get away from an investment. Because the last thing I want to see happen is, the Pimpy crypto token comes out for like $1 each. And then I say, I don't think that's a good investment. You shouldn't invest in it. And then all of a sudden, 2 months later, a sucker's worth $100,000 per token. People are like, what the hell, Pimpy? That's why I say, look, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm more of a investment suggester. How about that? Okay. So he said, preacher mic up. I'm sorry about that. I talk loud anyway. So, okay. So we will talk more about the different investments, but I want to get into more details because there's so many details that I'm missing in my video that I should be sharing with you, that every now and again I'll jump into a group and those people will get lucky because they'll ask a question and then I'll go on and on about why or why not. And they're like, how come we don't talk like this on my video? I don't want to be long-winded. I don't want to bore people. So I'm going to have to find a way to hit you with the information without boring you guys to death. Okay? Jeff knows more. Jeff don't know shit. He's an idiot. How's Carl? I haven't talked to him recently, but yeah, I thought about calling him the other day. I'm to give him a jingle and find out what's up. All right. So again, I will leave the link for the other channel for those of you who want to go over there. That will be where they talk about the Iraqi dinar, Vietnam dong, the Zim dollar, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. Somebody has brought to my attention that they made a huge chunk of money from my stock watch, and I said, "Oh, I know. Some of those stocks became extremely valuable." And yeah, I told you guys. Look at I don't just say buy the stock. I'm gonna say you guys should pay attention to this stock, and let me tell you why. That's what I do with everything I talk about. I will say, in my opinion, this is why I think you should do this. But Nvidia was a huge stock. When I was talking about it before it really took off, but it had a 10-to-1 split. SRM had a 10-to-1 split, and their stock is still shooting up. Netflix was on there. It jumped up big time. So yeah, I'm happy that people are making money. And if you do, and you want to share your story with me, feel free to reach out to me. I love to hear these things. Whether or not you want to talk about it with the people, that's up to you. But, just because we have a conversation doesn't mean I'll share it with everybody. I will usually tell people, oh, this individual has done very well. Okay. So feel free to share it. I was getting excited about somebody started in some group, Telegram group, and I'm not big on it. Yeah, that's something that just came up. I'm gonna tell you this. If you guys see any kind of Telegram group any kind of messaging group that is claiming to be me, don't believe it. I do not have any Telegram groups, no groups whatsoever like that. They're all lies. If I am going to start a Telegram group or whatever the hell they start out there, these chat groups, I will let you know. If there are chat groups out there claiming to be me, it's a lie. I promise you that, okay? I do not open those things. Another thing you'll notice about my channel, and this really hurts me, I know that, but I don't have moderators, because a lot of those moderators have caused a lot of problem for other content creators. Since I handle everything myself, I'm responsible and I answer to myself. That's it. You know, I know Maria went through some crap. I felt sorry for her, and I pray that everything gets back on track. But she trusted moderators, and it hurt her. And you know, I'm hoping that it's funny every time I see that Pimpy Rich. I'm hoping and praying that everything works out for her, because if you allow moderators, depending on what kind of control they have over your channel, they can start creating content. They can start acting like they're somebody that they're not, and they can act like they're her and start falsely leading people in the wrong direction. So I don't do that at all. Okay. Jeffrey, sir, how you doing? Oliver's animated bad investment, IQD. Well, look, I don't want people to think they made a really bad investment in IQD. We're not quite sure what that's going to happen. We're not sure 100% of what's going to happen. Let's put it that way. And that's why when you're investing in moderation with only discretionary funds is important. If you don't set a goal for yourself on how much money you put into something, you can end up really hurting yourself. Like I said, I know an individual, don't want to mention no names, took a second mortgage out and put it all on IQD. Because they heard other content creators pump them up with hopium so much that they really believed it was going to happen in less than a year. And they're going to get millions of dollars. So after having a very long conversation about it, hopefully everything turns out well for that individual. I said, I'll tell you what, I told him, sell that crap back. Try to recover as much money as possible. Pay it towards that second mortgage. Don't do that again. Even if it happens tomorrow, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm a billionaire. Okay, well, congratulations. But there's no guarantee in any investment. Anyway, whether it's cryptocurrencies, whether it's gold and silver, whether it's the Iraqi dinar, there's no guarantees unless you have a crystal ball that you can rub and see the future. Period. Okay? And these people saying, oh, I guarantee it. Oh, this is why it's going to happen. They're lying to you. There's nothing that they can show you that guarantees what they're talking about. So just be careful of people blowing hopium up your ass, all right? Woody, how you doing? Yeah. I think the more I keep, let's put it this way. I just said that, my drinking has drastically. I went from drinking every day to maybe now I might drink once a week, maybe once every 10 days. And it definitely is clearing things up for me. There's no doubt about it. And not only that, little by little, it's weird to see just like some of the pounds disappear. It was like, are you working out? And I'm like, no, just stop drinking. But had this one lady who wants me to do a whole her channel on my whole journey about alcohol and losing weight. I was like, people hear enough of my shit. They don't want to keep hearing me. They want to hear me talk about everything. Hey, this is Pimpy's cooking channel. This is a weight loss channel. Here's the political channel. Here's the investment channel. Who knows? Maybe you guys do. You guys love me so much you want to hear me all day long. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, if you're going to drink a lot and you stop drinking, your body is going to start looking for a substitute for all the sugar that you no longer are bringing into your body. For me, I crashed hard on that. I had headaches and I was mean as hell. So I noticed that my soda intake has definitely increased and that will have to change as well. But a thing that helped me with cravings a lot Jolly Ranchers. That's crazy. These little tiny Jolly Ranchers. I don't usually have alcohol cravings, not as of yet. But if I start to even feel like it's gonna turn into a craving, I will pop Jolly Ranchers. That substitutes the sugar for what I don't have. So yeah. So there you guys have a look at the major announcements. Going to be, I'll be posting videos on Pimpys investment chat. The link will be down below in the description. Yes, they gave me my old channel back, and it still has 77,000 subscribers. Yeah. I don't know if that's reaching out to all 77,000 of them, but we'll find out. If anything, I was hoping to see if I could reach people that I was not able to reach before, and just check in and let them know what was going on. So I'm going to post the same video on the other channel, so people over there are aware of what's going on. So this will be on this channel as well as on the other channel, so people could understand what's going on. Yeah, I've heard people say this all the time. Pimpy, separate the content, because I didn't do that last time. You're talking about politics, do it on one channel. And news like that, if you're going to talk about investment, do it on the other. And sure enough, it bit me right in the ass. So we'll do that. I'm happy about it, and I'm extremely excited to see where it leads. I'm grateful to all of you who've tuned in, because like I said this before, look, none of this happens without you guys. I don't care what anybody says about them. Unless a lot of people were banned from 2019 to 2021. Yes, there are a lot of people who are back, and I'm happy for them. I'm excited myself. Yeah, 3-year ban so far. It's been 3 years, but I'm back over there, and I'm happy about that. But I do have a group on Facebook. I'm going to post the link for that as well. Feel free to ask questions over there. If you have any ideas about investments you want me to look into, if I have the time, just let me know, and I usually will. I don't just do it half-assed, but I'll dig into it. I'll do the deep dive, which you hear all the time. But yeah, I'll do that, and just express an opinion that I have about that. There are probably right now 6 different stocks that I've really been paying attention to. The other thing is, people keep asking me about copper, you guys. I've been really monitoring copper. For people who go, well, Pimpy, I can't afford gold and silver anymore. Even if you had a part-time job, it's just way out of my reach. Is there another precious metal that's cheap that might take off? Yeah, copper. We will get into details about that as well, because you can't. Well, I don't want to say you can't, because it's not true. Yeah, let me get my shit together here. This way, then when I'm speaking about different types of copper is a huge talking point today. Yeah, it's been now for a couple of years. I spoke about it 3-4 years ago. I just didn't speak about it a whole lot because I was really focused on gold and silver. But there is a mining company I want you guys to really pay attention to. Okay, because if you can't afford to buy the precious metals themselves, one thing that has not taken off by surprise is the mining stock. It's really crazy. There's people out there watching the precious metals go up and down, but the mining stocks really haven't moved all that much, which is a shocker for people who know anything about investing into precious metals. Okay, so it's just definitely an interesting trend, but I'm going to get into details for people who are not able to invest into the different precious metals. I mean, some of these stocks that are out there, they're like $5 per stock. So you might be able to afford $5, you know? But I don't want to discourage you guys from buying precious metals. Even though the price is as high as it is, you still can invest in it. They're fractionals, and I need to speak about fractional investment as well. You could invest based on, what do you call them, ratio trends. I did that. I'll explain what that is. Right now, I'm listening to this guy tell me right now he guarantees. This guy is a long-time precious metal investor, and I mean long time. He says, I guarantee within the next couple of years that the ratio is going to get down to 50-1. And I said, 50-1? Well, that should perk your ears if you're gold and silver, physical gold and silver holder. Okay? And I will get into that here more. Where do I think silver will go? To the moon. How about that? Isn't that what you guys like? To the moon. um, I think this next year, definitely be in the triple digits. I just want to be reluctant on trying to slap any kind of real prediction, because I don't do predictions. I don't do price. I don't do rates. I don't do anything like that, because there's no way in how to know. When I first started talking about gold and silver, the trends that I did see, I spoke about, and I was feeling really positive about these trends, because this is history backed up what I was saying. And when it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to go, it was shocking to me. And speaking to other content creators, they had the same feeling. Hey, these are not following our norms, these trends. There's a different types of manipulation happening. And so I have to be really careful about how I speak about certain investments or making any kind of price predictions or anything like that. Okay. So for people who don't have a ton of money to splurge on investments, but still want to jump on different wagons to make money, look, I'm going to speak about different types of investments I believe people can afford. I still think people still can afford gold and silver. You don't have to buy an ounce of gold. You don't have to buy an ounce of silver. You could buy a tenth of an ounce of gold or a tenth of an ounce of silver. So you see, you're not out of it. There's no excuses. Okay, none. Right now, I can hear Lisa cursing me out because how she ended up doing what she did is she heard my video called "No Excuses," and she, sure enough, she said, "Gosh dang it, cursing me out." Took that part-time job, and there's something to think about. I'll bring it up again. So, for those of you who've been listening to me now for a while, about 3 years ago, I made a video called "No Excuses." A lady that's a listener heard it. She said, "Pimpy, my first job pays all my bills." She's comfortable, but she doesn't have any discretionary funds to invest. And she says, and then, you did a video called "No Excuses." And you said, maybe you should think about doing a part-time job. You have your job that pays all your bills and you're comfortable and you're not struggling. But if you take the part-time job on, well, then you have more discretionary funds. You'll consider investing into precious metals. Use that money to buy precious metals. And she said she got to her second job. She was exhausted, guys, dead tired. She goes, cursing you out every step of the way. She got her first check. She was excited. She took every penny. This is what she's been doing for the past 3 years, guys. Every penny that she makes off that second job, every dang penny of it, she put right into precious metals. Okay? She said as soon as that first order came to her door, and I know this feeling, I still get this feeling. When it comes to your door and you open it up and you grab one of those silver coins or gold coins and you put it in your hand, oh man, what an awesome feeling. It's an awesome feeling. And that just motivated her even more. So she's her entire paycheck from her second job goes to precious metals. And look where she is. It took her 3 years to go from I'm comfortable living, but don't have any discretionary funds, to now she's a millionaire. She's close to 13,000 ounces. Okay. Marsha's saying, what do you say? I've been searching for copper and mining stock tickers. Yeah, I'll go into that, you guys. Give me some time. I'm going to put together why these particular stocks have caught my attention and where I believe it's going to go. Okay. So I want people to continue doing what you're doing as far as stacking is concerned. And people who feel discouraged about the Iraqi dinar, the reason why you guys feel discouraged is because every damn day those content creators are telling you it's going to happen. I have a feeling, gosh dang it, today's weather is 97 degrees. And when it turns 97 degrees, that means the rate's going to change. They'll say whatever. Stop listening to that shit. I keep telling you guys, don't stop. There's nothing wrong with having an investment, but don't let these people hype you up so much that it discourages you from having it as an investment. Okay? Just put the Iraqi dinar away in a drawer somewhere. There's nothing wrong with listening to different content creators, but don't let them pump you up full of crap. Every time they say, oh, next month is going to happen, they never have anything, any proof or any way to show you why they feel that way. They say, I have a feeling. Well, I have a feeling too, So, anyways, that's it for now. I'm going to go ahead and go because somebody's knocking on my door. It's nice talking to you. I will post the links down below. I'll talk to you later. I'm out.